amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed.
Meanwhile, President Buhari had made public his views on the ticket of the party, pleading that leaders of the party and stakeholders should allow him a chance of first refusal. That is what it looks like, a conventional situation, a chance of reciprocity, where he's able to pick his successor. Well, let's get deeper into what this means. The legal angle, the political angle, and also the internal horse trading. Where will it go and how will it go with the APC? Let's speak with a chieftain of the APC. Ismail Ahmed is a lawyer, a member of the APC Board of Trustees. He was the immediate past national youth leader of the party and spokesperson of the National Convention of the and the Planning Committee of the party. He's being a member of the APC convention in 2014 that brought President Muhammadu Buhari as a flag bearer of the APC in Lagos. He was also a member of the Convention Planning Committee of 2018 that brought Adams Oshomole and the Affirmation Convention of President Buhari for the 2019 election. Ismail Ahmed is one of the 13 members of the Planning Convention Committee. In March of this year, he ran for Senate in his native Kano State, but withdrew at the last minute. Thank you so much, Ismail, for coming tonight.
Thank you very much.
Why did you withdraw?
Well, the governor wanted me to. He asked me to, so I withdrew.
Is there any reason he gave you?
Yeah, well, there's some local balancing that has to be done. The governorship candidate was zoned to was given to somebody from my local government.
Was given?
Well, it was won. The person that won was from my local government, and the person that was
seated.
That's
what
actually.
Politics is looking like.
No, it wasn't seated.
They look and say, oh, you fit this, and they give it to you.
Well, you see, I think there were a lot of balancing that needed to be done. There was a lot of considerations that was taken, but he actually won the primaries on Friday.
So that brings me to what is happening in your party and what the president said. And before I come to what Governor Akeredolu said, no, the president is asking for a reciprocity, ability to be able to produce his successor. I mean, it's looking like politics is the matter of seeding, seed to someone who you feel good about.
Well, first of all,
and people have criticized your party, though.
I think
there's a lot of.
I have a different take about what the president said, and now because I have followed the president since 2002 when he got into contest, and I know he is a firm believer of allowing the system and people to be able to bring up the system to be able to bring up winners of elections, and I know that he has gone through primaries in 2014. He contested in an open and free and fair primaries in 2014 in Lagos, of which you mentioned. I was a member of that committee. I was one of the people that actually counted his votes. So I know for a fact that the president has always reiterated the fact that he needed, the system needed to produce flag bearers through transparent and fair and credible system so that there can be legitimacy. So I think I have a little different. I think there's a lot of misreading to what the president said to the governors. I think there's a lot of misinterpretation of what the president meant.
Interestingly, it wasn't. I mean, so a lot of the times when the media puts out what people say, politicians always throw it back and say the media did this, the media did that. These are not what we thought the president said. This is what the presidency quoted the president as saying. And most of the times when things have been said, they're in soundbite, and that's why they are played for people to hear. And when there are inferences made, people know that these are inferences. But when they're in letters, you cannot be subjective in your interpretation. You can only be objective. You can only read what the president has said in the letters in which he said it. So he said, a chance of reciprocity. Allow me to produce my successor.
I didn't think the president said, allow me to produce my successor.
Should I read it again to you?
Yes,
once again? If that particular quote is read, I'd like to read it again. Because a chieftain of your party yesterday, when I was reading it to him, that's what exactly he was trying to do. To try to color what was being said. And look, what a leader says, people have the right to debate the interpretation and what it means. Because look, this is the allegations and the criticism to that statement. That this looks so much like imposition.
Let me tell you what I think.
In fact, let me tell you what I know.
Let me tell you what I know for a fact. I know that this president went through primaries right from 2002 when he contested under the APP. In 2006 when he contested under the ANPP. In 2010, 2011 was the only time that he was the sole candidate in CPC. And we all know that he contested, it was a very contestable election primary in Lagos in 2014 at the stadium. So this is a president who never shies away from primaries. Now, what I think of primaries is that primaries needs to be done in the sense that if the president has a preference for a candidate, which it is within his right to do so, that candidate can be supported, through other means. The president knows what to do to get support for that candidate, but the candidate of the party needs to emerge through a transparent process of seeing that he has won an election. An election needs to be won in the primaries for the candidate to have the momentum going into general election. The legitimacy of the candidate begins from winning an election. If he wins a primary, which is seen to be at least, transparent or seen to be done, we can go back to history and see how Shagari was backed by the military oligarchy in 1978, but he needed to defeat Damasan in Kano in the MPN primary in 1978, in 1979 for him to emerge the MPN candidate. Umaru Musa Yar'Adua was backed by Obasanjo, everybody knew that. But he contested against people like Rochas Okorocha and Buba Marwa at that time in PDP. He defeated them and emerged. Obasanjo himself emerged through a process, even though he was backed by the military junta of Abdulsalami Abubakar, General Babangida, and T.Y. Danjuma, the trio of those military oligarchy. They supported Obasanjo to emerge through the PDP primaries in 1998 in Jos, but he still went into an election in primary against Alex Okweme, Abubakar Rimi, and the likes of them, and he defeated them and emerged, and that was where he got it. President Muhammadu Buhari emerged through a process defeating Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Musa Konkoso, late Dr. Simon Isaiah, Rochas Okorocha in 2014 for him to emerge. And that gave us the momentum going into 2015 elections that helped us, gave us the wind enough to defeat Jonathan in that election of 2015. So the primary is really important. Now,
so you don't support the consensus idea?
No, consensus has different meanings. What does consensus mean? Consensus means when every other candidate unanimously agree that they are going to step down for a particular candidate. Okay, that is good. That is part of the process. That is part of what our law says. But that also comes with the fact that they would have to willingly agree, because look, we are going into an election cycle where we have an 8-month lull. In an 8-month lull, we're going to have a long period of campaign, and we're going against a candidate who has been running for president since 1992. So if there's nothing that if there's something that he understands very well, is how to run for president. We need to bring in our best, and our best needs to come from a process that the party members are willing to go back to the polling units and work for the candidate that they have trust in because they believe they brought him in. Now, whatever might happen behind the scenes in trying to get that candidate to win, or whichever preferred candidate, there are a lot of people that once the president says, this is my candidate, we are going to work for that candidate. If the president says, this is the candidate I want, we are going to work for that candidate. But I know for a fact that this president is not going to stampede a primary election from happening.
Are you saying this because you know his mind? He has spoken to you about it?
Because I know in several conversations, in several speeches, at several times, at different times since the beginning of his political sojourn in 2002, this president, Muhammadu Buhari, has never tried to stop an election.
Maybe you are misinterpreting the tonality of the president's action, or maybe present history or recent history as discolor you're seeing or perception of the president. So let's take it from the last decision he made for the party, or he made on behalf of the party, and that is the position of the national chairman.
The national chairmanship,
Senator Abdullahi Adamu came into the fray.
The president
very much late into the race.
Yes, the president picked a preferred candidate. Now, he did not stop anyone from going into primaries.
Were you at the meeting?
Sorry.
Were you at the meeting with the aspirants?
Well, the aspirants told me what happened.
Okay, so what can you tell Nigerians what happened?
I know, he just basically said that he thinks that we should all walk towards a particular candidate.
But did you hear also that he just informed them of his preferred candidate?
I don't know.
They didn't have opportunity to interact, to ask questions.
I don't know about that.
To stay their minds.
I don't know about that. But you
just know one part of the story.
Hold on. They could still have gone on into the primaries if they had wanted to.
Sorry. That's exactly
what
the question I was asking. When you said the president has never. But in this particular instance, it does look like
he has never stampeded a primary election.
If you use the word stampede.
No, the party.
But when he has,
the party
convention,
the party convention is not primaries, Sean. You know that. The party convention is not primary.
But it's an election.
No, it's not primaries.
No, but there was an election.
He has never stampeded a primary.
There was an election, Ismail.
Was there an election? You said there was
an election for the party executives.
That's what I'm saying.
One of those.
No, hold on, Sean. Let's not confuse these two things. I said the president has never stampeded a primary election. Leadership of the party is not a primary election. Leadership of the party is usually a consensus of the elite of the party, stakeholders of the party. That's what usually happens. Leadership of the party is usually the consensus of the elites of the party, and the biggest stakeholder of the party is the president. But as far as primaries is concerned, this president came through a transparent primaries that happened in Lagos. You were there. Your channel's television was there to cover it. You saw what happened. He defeated contestants that were genuine in looking for what they were looking at, and that was what gave him the momentum to go into 2015 elections. This election in 2023 is the biggest and the widest that you have seen since 1999. This is the first election that we would have that there will be no President Muhammadu Buhari on the ballot, and there is no incumbent president seeking for re-election. We need to put our best foot forward.
All right.
I'm sure the PDP made the decision.
I've allowed you to land
now,
thought.
Now we need the process to bring out somebody.
You were assuming that there was a confusion, but there's no confusion. Your party went to a national convention to elect.
We are talking about primary.
Let me put in the question. Your party went in the national convention to elect party executives.
That's right.
And the president had a preferred candidate who came into the race late in the day. The similar situation is the fact that people are also running for an office, and they are aspirant. And the president had never said he doesn't have a preferred candidate. He said he has a preferred person for the office, and he's asking the governor, allow me a chance of reciprocity. And I'm saying to you that when you say that the president has never taken his own decision above the other decision or the party's decision. And I'm saying you may have gotten it wrong at some point, because when your party went to the national convention, the president preferred choice came tops. And that is the quote of the president, what he said. And let me read it out to you again. The president said, and part of the quote is, in keeping with the established internal policies of the party, and as we approach the convention in a few days, therefore, I wish to solicit the reciprocity and support of the governors and other stakeholders in picking my successor, who will fly the flag of our party for election into the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It did not say, allow me to pick my successor, whom you may pick amongst. He said, allow me to pick the successor whom will fly the flag of the party. So it is not us that is confusing him. You probably want to mix things up. It's mine.
Now let's be very clear about something. Based on so many things that the president said, that statement, I know that the president is going to allow a primary. I know that for a fact. That statement, whatever statement he made, I know that this president has always been a big advocate of allowing primaries and allowing the system to churn out leaders. Look, we have an election to go into, an election where we're going to go against people who have been battle tested. We need to go into our primary to be able to produce a candidate that people are going to go back to their polling units and work for. The president would have his preferred candidate, maybe not. He may be able to say to some people and say, I want that person delivered. But it is important that whoever it is that emerges for the party emerge from winning an election on the day of convention. He has to win on the floor. Whatever happens behind the scenes, It's none of my business, but it needs to be seen.
Senator Abdullah Adamu won on at the grounds there
because
this is where everybody should
because everyone pulled away.
Now look at what Governor
every contestant.
Isn't it what's going to happen when the president says this is my preferred candidate?
Well, I don't know, but
on Sunday or Saturday, when the president comes back,
I don't know, but I hope.
Queue behind.
I don't know.
Take for example.
I don't know what's going to happen.
You would have run as a senator in your state, but you stepped down because your governor said you should do so.
Yes, and he gave me good reasons for it.
So isn't that what happened in the case of the
somebody else ran? Somebody else ran. There was another person that ran against the person that won.
Adamu Abdullahi.
No, I'm not talking about Adamu Abdullahi.
No, I'm saying that's what happened in the case of the president when he said Adamu Abdullahi is his preferred candidate.
Look, there's a big difference between party leadership and presidential.
You know so much about your party, but you're mixing it up. You're just isolating it so that you can use eloquence to confuse the issues.
There is a big difference. There is a big difference.
Nigerians and my viewers are not confused about the issues.
So are you saying that
because
it's the
you're a
same?
politician? No, they are the same, more or less. But let's look at this issue, Ismail. Look at what the governor of Ondo State said. He said that your party has to be careful and has to zone to the south. Do you see your party doing so?
I don't know what my party will do. Ultimately, I don't know what the decision will do. This party has never been the party that sits down and zones particular positions. In 2014, like I told you, Rochas Okorocha ran, and President Muhammadu Buhari ran. So they've never, but I, Ismail Ahmed, and so many people that I know, as a young politician, growing up, this is not legal. I support the ticket of the party to go to the southern part of Nigeria. I support it.
So you're saying that those who are running in the north should just cede it or step
I'm not saying they should cede. They have the right to run because other people from other parts of the country have the right to run. And if they run and they win, based on fair premises, we will go in and we will fight and make sure that they win election. But I think based on morality and equity, I, Ismail Ahmed, believe that APC, because APC should allow southern candidates emerge. And I believe that our delegates who are coming for the convention on Monday should be able to vote for a candidate from the southern part of Nigeria who can defeat Atiku Abubakar in 2020.
Why do you think your party may be considering a northern candidate?
Because like I told you, my party has never made it a duty to zone any position. People have always run for positions. In 2014, you know this. Why do you keep asking me questions you know?
No,
didn't Rochas Okorocha run in 2014?
No. In your convention,
he didn't run?
You zoned in your convention,
no,
the last convention.
No, I'm not talking to you.
If the people forget
why do you keep mixing party conventions and presidential primaries?
Because they are synonymous.
No, they are not synonymous.
Come on, if you know politics, they are not synonymous. They are synonymous. Let me give you this.
Let me give you the difference. It seems that you don't understand the difference between presidential primaries.
You are the one confusing things. Because
there's
the issue
a big difference.
No, it's synonymous.
There is big difference.
The reason why the party
was it zoned?
The reason why you will zone across the region is because you have a northern candidate and you say, oh, let's take a southern leadership of the party. And that's what the party has done.
Who zoned it? Where was it zoned to?
Why did you get a Shomole or got John Oyegun from the south as the national chairman of the party?
That is a consensus. That is not a zoning arrangement.
Is that not a convention that your party has followed?
You see, if you just calm down, Sheun,
I'm calm.
No, you're not.
I'm not in the race. I'm not in the arena. Okay. You are the one in the arena. Your party is on the line.
You seem to have answers stacked up in your head that are wrongly prioritized.
No,
you don't understand.
I'm trying to guide my viewers because it's my duty to do so.
So can you listen to me?
No, I will listen to you
please,
if we get the conversation right.
Can you listen to me?
I'm listening to you.
Can you listen
That's why I invited you.
Now, number one, there's never been a time that this party APC, since 2013 when it was formed, that clearly says that we are zoning position ABC to places A, B, C, D. People come out to run, zoning comes after that. We don't zone as a matter of written principle. We don't do that. But there will always be convention and consensus of elites of stakeholders that will sit down and say, look, even though this is it's not in the ambit of the law, it is not written in our constitution, it's not written in our books, it's not written on any guidelines, we support ABC to emerge from certain places. That is completely different from saying that the party zoned it. Because if the party zoned chairmanship that you are saying, for example, former Governor Yari of Zamfara wouldn't have come out to run. Former Governor Sas of Borno from Northeast wouldn't have come out to run. All these people ran for national chairmanship. They are all part of the people that the president pleaded with to cede this position to Abdullah Adamu, who is now the party chairman. And they did. That's fine. Okay, so there was no zoning. In 2014, when we had primaries, President Muhammad Buhari from Northwest, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso from Northwest, Atiku Abubakar from Northeast, Rochas Okorocha from Southeast, Salman Diazaya from North Central. They ran. President Muhammad Buhari defeated them on the floor. Now, we have people who have come out from all parts of the country. South-South, Southeast, Southwest, and Northeast and North Central. All these people came out to run, and even Northwest. From all the zones of the country, there are people who have bought forms and they want to run. But I can assure you that me, Ismail Ahmad, I don't know what the party might decide, I don't know what the president will prefer as his candidate at the end of the day. That is his prerogative as a stakeholder of this party. But we believe that the same consensus that leaders reach, they should reach and allow people to emerge from the process through elections so that we can have the wind of legitimacy going into 2020.
We're totally out of time.
You took most of my time shouting at me. I'm not understanding.
Myself?
Yes.
Go and watch the tape back on YouTube. That's my. I love debates, and I love intellectualism. So when I'm having a debate, only that tonight you just got your history mixed up with some element of.
Like what? Give me an example where I got it.
But that's okay. You're a politician. That's what you do for a living. Thank you so much, Ismail. For
we mix up things.
You mix up things a lot of time. But it's my duty here to guide the thoughts and the views of my viewers to get the right perspective into issues. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much for coming. We'll take it.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.